So quickly, let me introduce myself. I am Neeraj Singh and Microsoft certified trainer on Power BI, and today the webinar is based on Power BI. So overall, you will get the feeling of Power BI, what it does, how to get it, what are the softwares you need, and which exam is mapped to Power BI if you want to go and you are interested in certifying yourself. So all about this in next 1 hour we will discuss this. I hope that is fine with you. So, and also just make sure that I'm audible, right? So shall we start?
Yes, sir, you can start.
Okay, fine. I hope my screen is visible. I just wanted to check in the beginning. My screen is visible to everyone. Fine. So when we talk about Power BI, first of all, it's a Microsoft product, and this was launched in year 2015 officially, right? I do remember very clearly when it came into the market in the very first day, even before it was launched. I got a lot of messages from Microsoft because we are, having some advanced communication with Microsoft because we are the community member of Microsoft trainers, and on that forum we get advanced notification. So it was the month of July, August, I remember. So this Power BI is a data analytics tool, and in next 1 hour you will get to know how to get it, what are the requirement, what it does. So overall brief idea you will get so that you can take more detailed study and training on that, and you will get more benefit because this is very popular data analytics tool in the market right now. According to the Gartner report, this is the leading data analytics tool in the market. Tableau and other products like Quick uh, and the other things like SAS and Alteryx, some other products are already there. There are hundreds of data analytics tools, but out of this, for end users, the Power BI is becoming more popular. Now, when we talk about data analytics, let me talk about the data first. So, see, when we talk about data and information, which is the most strategic business asset in any organization, nowadays data has grown like anything. Data, you can get it in any form. It is in formatted tabular form or not formatted form. Big data, you are getting data from some unstructured in movie form, audio form. You are getting data from social media sites, Twitter, so, Facebook and all. This data is very crucial for any company. Now you have a challenge to manage this data and to get the meaningful information. So this is the whole process to get your data into meaningful information so that the company can take right kind of decision. And to do this all conversion into information, you need a data analytics tool. And one of them is Power BI. Okay, so Power BI is a data analytics tool which helps you to process the raw data and convert into the desired information, and the company can take a right decision for their businesses, right? So here, to manage this, you have a different rules hired by the companies, Like for example, quickly I tell you the business analyst and data analyst role. They are very similar. Any data analyst can jump over as a business analyst. The business analyst only focuses on one particular business, right? And they do the data analysis related to their business. As a data analyst, the main job I will explain in the next slide. The data analyst's main job is basically is to collect the data, change the data, transform, clean the data. That is one part. And then after cleaning the data, you analyze the data, create some formulas, measures, and all those stuff, whatever you need for information. The third one is visualize the data. So mainly for any data analyst or any data analyzing tool like Power BI, there are mainly three objectives. We'll explain this. So that is the role of data analyst. Now, when we talk about data engineers, they are the expert of machine learning, predictive analysis, R language, maybe Python, and one of them, and they are trained to analyze the artificial intelligence along with the machine learning. Okay, so that they can get some automated result out of that data which you put there inside the machine learning. So that is the role of data engineer. I'm sorry, that is the role of data scientist I'm talking about. I'm really sorry. So that was the role of data scientist. Okay, when we talk about data engineer, pardon me, for data engineer, the data engineer role is just to create the database, data warehouse. That is the role of data engineers. I talked about machine learning and all. That is actually data scientist role, right? And data engineer is the guy who creates databases. They are the person who are responsible for creating tables, creating structure, creating relationship, populating the data, from getting data from different sources into data warehouse. So these are the guy who prepare your data for data analyst, mainly. But when you talk about Power BI, you also somewhere involved into getting the data. But this is specifically focused on creating data warehouses and database so that those data warehouses and databases can be used by business analyst, data analyst. So data engineer role is to create the entire data warehouse database. Data scientist, as I said, these are the guys who are expert in machine learning, artificial intelligence, predictive analysis. They can train the machine learning to predict something, right? They are also expert in one of the predictive programming languages like R or Python. So those are called data scientists. This role is also becoming very popular nowadays. And then finally, database administrator. This is a very old role related to database management server. They are responsible for backups, how to take, how to restore some lost database, how to, align the real kind of, access to the different users, how to block the users, grant and revoke the permissions, maintain the server quality, server performance. They are also responsible for server uptime, downtime that comes in their KPIs, right? So these are the role of database administrator. That is also known as DBAs, right? Now, when we come to back to the data analyst role, as I told you, there are three main objectives of data analyst. And for any data analyst tool, also you have a three objective. So what is the first objective? Let me explain this. The first objective is preparing the data. So this is your first objective of any data analyst tool, or as a business analyst or data analyst. This is your first objective, and this is technically called ETL. Okay, this is called ETL. And what is the full form of ETL? Extract, transform, and load. Extract, transform, and load. So in this particular phase, you get data from hundreds of data, different sources. In Power BI, every month they give you some updates. On an average, since last 5 years, they are giving you every month 10 new features. and this is becoming more and more powerful. So there are more than 200 data connectors in Power BI from where you can pull the data, whether it is databases, SQL Server, Oracle, and all, PDF files, Notepad, Excel file, CSV files, Google Sheets, OneDrive, and you just name it. So you can pull it from anywhere. Data you can pull out from anywhere in Power BI. So that is extraction. And then you need to transform and clean the data and finally load the data. So this process is for preparing the data, that is called ETL, extract, transform, and load. The second objective is this one, both of this. So this is the second objective, that is called analyzing the data, right? Analyzing the data is the second objective. In this process, what you do, if I talk about Power BI, in this process, you create relationship, you create data model. When you say data model, that means if you have too many tables and you want to connect them through the relationship, right, based on the common fields. So how will you design that? If you are taking it from data engineers, they have already developed the data warehouse with all the relationship and everything ready made. So you don't need to create further. Just by changing few of the things, you can use this directly, right? Most of the things they have already done. The data engineers have already finished that work. But in case you are taking it from Excel, CSV file, Notepad file, that doesn't have any relationship, right? So when you get this data in Power BI, that will come in tabular structure like row and column, but you have to create relationship among them. And once it is all connected, then you can create consolidated complete report, right? So that is one part. Data modeling is one part, creating relationship. And the second part in analyzing is, if in case if you need some calculations on particular column. For example, you have quantity column and you have unit price column in your data. Now you want to find out what is the cost for each of these transactions that is not available there in the source. You want to find out what would be the cost of the column, right? Cost of each of the transactions. So you need to do some calculation. So calculation here you can do with the help of DAX formula, and that is also part of analysis. So whenever you need some calculations, aggregations, sum, average, and all those stuff, you use DAX formula here, and DAX full form is data analysis expression, right? So the full form of DAX is data analysis expression. So this is the second objective of your BI tool, business intelligence tool. So this data analyst tool is also called business intelligence tool, BI tool, right? So this is the second objective of any BI tool. The third objective is the visualizing the data. This is the third objective, right? Even as a data analyst, you have three objectives to fulfill: ETL, analyzing the data, which involves data modeling and formulas and all. And the third is visualizing the data. And finally, this is common thing to manage after that. Once you have done with all your job, you have to manage the services. Like, for example, you want to share the report, you want to schedule refresh, you want to create some more content. So that management you can do. So that is a common thing, but mainly there are three objectives of any BI tool. Same with data analyst role, right? I hope this is clear. Now you see, if just some questions here, reminder: which data role enables advanced analytics capabilities through reports and visualization? So data analyst role. Which data analyst task has a critical performance impact on reporting and data analysis? So that is, data modeling is very important. What is the key benefit of data analysis? Why data analysis is so much popular nowadays? Because data analysts can give you the right kind of information so that the company can take right decisions. Okay, so informed business decisions you can take only when you do some data analysis, right? Now the practical point of view, what are the things you need? That is, I'm going to discuss with you. So here you see, when we talk about Power BI as a whole product, it's a collection of software So which software? There are many software, but mainly actually you need here the main prime software you need is Power BI for desktop. Okay, so you need Power BI for desktop. Okay, so Power BI for desktop is a complete free software. Even you can use this as a free tool. Simply, the minimum requirement is you need to have Windows operating system at least 10, or if you have upgraded to 11, that is also okay. But it cannot be used inside Macintosh or Apple machine so far. Maybe in future they allow, I don't know. But right now you need Windows operating system. And when I'm saying this software, the main software for developing all your three objectives you can fulfill here, right? So that software is called Power BI for desktop. And to give you quick idea on this, how to get this software, anybody can get this by using this software. So let me give you idea here. So when I show you, you see here, just go to Google, okay, and when I write here Power BI for desktop, right? If you have Windows operating system, and also remember, I would advise you to at least have 8 GB RAM, because otherwise it will become very slow. Because this is a graphical tool, a lot of charts and visuals you are going to use, so you know that all the graphical requirements. So you need to have good hardware configuration, minimum 8 GB RAM, and four core 4 processors, like maybe i7 is better. So when you write Power BI desktop download, you will get a link, and any one of the link you can try. So when you get the link, you just go to that link, and probably you will get direct download button. Otherwise you can look for other link, but anyway you can get this download button and just click on the download. Here you can see there are two exe files. So that depends on your Windows operating system setup, entire setup. So if it is 64-bit operating system, you will go for this exe file. If it is 32-bit operating system, you can go for this, right? So you can check from the PC configuration, and you can download that relative exe file. And once it is downloaded, installation will hardly take 1 minute, and your job is done. So this is how you can get it free, the main prime software. Now the next thing it's talking about, the services. So for services means, like if you want to share your report to your colleagues, your clients, or you want to do schedule refresh, so automatically after some interval your report will get updated automatically, that is called schedule refresh, right? So all these kind of services related to security and sharing, creating dashboard, so all this stuff is available on services portal, and that services portal is actually called powerbi.com. Simple, powerbi.com. Now even here also you can register free. The only limitation is you cannot register with your personal email IDs like Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo, and all those stuff. You have to register here with your corporate email ID. Like if you are working for some company, you can use your working email ID, right? So you can sign up here as a free user. Only few of the things, important things, will not be available as a free user, but for learning purpose or training purpose, you can at least manage that, right? So in free edition, if you sign up here with your corporate email ID, this is your powerbi.com services. It looks like this, right? And here by default you will get one container folder kind of thing that is called my workspace. So whatever you have created, reports, your data sets, and even if you create dashboard here. So dashboard and reports are two different things, remember, here in Power BI. So all these stuffs actually get inside my workspace by default if you want. But if you have a pro license, paid subscription, then you can create some other workspaces also and you can put there as well. And not only that, you can share the content of workspace to your team members. But sharing workspace content is only possible internally. But reports and dashboard, if you want to share individually to outside of the organization, that is possible. So that is simply possible. But in a workspace capacity, if you want to share the content, that is only internal purpose, and that requires pro license minimum. Here you can see, when I expand this, I can have dashboards, I can have reports. Under reports, I have reports, and under data sets, you see number of data sets which I have put in my folder. You can say folder or container, my workspace, right? And this is your powerbi.com, and a lot of things you can do here. Okay, we'll see that. Next thing is, so I talked about Power BI desktop software, prime software. Then services, I talked about powerbi.com. Then if I talk about apps, see, the main app is mobile app. Power BI mobile app is available, and fortunately here it is compatible with all devices like Android, iOS, and even Windows. So every kind of mobile smartphones, right, can get this Power BI mobile app. So what happens when you create any report using Power BI desktop, right? And then if you publish this into your powerbi.com account, automatically it comes in your mobile app, with the same ID. So the benefit is it gives you the mobility. Wherever you go, you can keep track on your reports. In case if something going wrong, some data is doing some, for example, if you are a sales manager or if you are a regional manager and you want to keep track on other areas which are under you, and based on that you have already all the reports, and you can keep track on all the areas, and whichever area is going down, you can alert those people who are responsible for this. So even if you are not in office, you can check all those updates in your mobile app, because ultimately it is all connected, and whenever the data is adding or changing, the report will change and you can see the update. So that gives you the mobility. So Power BI mobile app, you can easily find on Play Store and some related things, and you can get it. But you will get only when you publish from Power BI desktop to powerbi.com. So anything which is inside powerbi.com in your account, so out of that you will get reports and dashboard. These two things will come in your mobile app. Remember, the data set will not come in your mobile app. Only the reports and dashboard visual part will come into your mobile app. And the second point is, through mobile app, you cannot edit it. It is only read permission. You can interact in mobile also. If you want to filter something, you can filter out. Based on the filter you want to see the result, you can do that. For example, you have a sales for different countries. So if you have country wise slicer filter in your report, you can filter. Let's say you filter on Australia, so it will show up Australia data immediately. So the interaction is possible, but editing you cannot do in mobile app. In powerbi.com you can do editing, but here you can't do editing. Okay, so mobile app, then it's a collection of connectors. So connectors is all about the data connector. It's talking about data connectors, right? So when we talk about data connectors, there are hundreds of data connectors available, and you can connect. Now you understood this Power BI is a collection of software, services, apps, and connectors. So this is the flow which I have already explained to you. use Power BI desktop, create your report, and then you save it in your Power BI account, and automatically it will come into your mobile app. That is the flow, right? Now, if you talk about some building blocks of Power BI, so this is your dashboard. How do you recognize dashboard and reports? See, dashboard is single page canvas. It cannot have multiple pages, right? That is the main difference. And also remember, dashboard you cannot create inside Power BI desktop. In Power BI desktop, you can only create reports. Dashboard feature is only available in powerbi.com, and it is a single page canvas. The second big difference you will find in dashboard is you can have visuals from any report. You can just pin there. But in report, you have the visuals from related data set. But in dashboard, you can have visuals from anywhere, and you can create collection of visuals from different reports. Right. This is your data set. This is technically called data set. So these are the building blocks of your Power BI reports and all. This is called data set. This one is report, because you can see here there are multiple pages, right? There are multiple pages here. You can see that there are different pages here, tabs. So this is your report, which you can create inside Power BI desktop. And this is individual visual, you can see here. So this is called visual tiles, right? So these are the building blocks of your Power BI: dashboard, reports, data sets, visual tiles. And this is powerbi.com, which I have already shown you practically. What are the building blocks of Power BI? So the building blocks is visualizations, data sets, reports, dashboards, visual tiles. Okay, what is the common flow of activity in Power BI? The common flow is get the data inside your Power BI desktop, clean it, transform it, then create with the analysis, create reports, right? So bring data into your Power BI desktop and create a report, share it to the Power BI service, and you can interact and create dashboard. Collection of ready-made visuals pre-arranged in dashboard and report is called what? If anything pre-arranged in the form of reports or dashboard, that is actually mobile app. Okay, so that is your mobile app. This is the introductory part. Now let's do some practical here so that you can understand. So I have already told you how to get this software. So this Power BI desktop, once you get this, it looks like this. The logo had changed few years back. Initially, the logo was different. And I must tell you the old logo was better than this. But anyway, that is not my right to do anything here. So I'll go with this. So you can see I have opened many instances of this. Let me close all of this. Okay, so this is your main software, which is freely available. When you get this window will appear. You just close this. Not necessarily you need to log in. I'm logged in here, but you not necessarily you need to log in, because I told you even if you have not signed up, you can use this. And this is like any other application, like you use Excel, Word, PowerPoint. So you create a file, right? So here also you are creating a file. And remember, when you save this file locally, anyway, like you do Excel, what you get? XLSX. In Word, you get DOCX. Similarly, when you save this file here, it gives you the extension PBIX. Remember, PBI means Power BI, and X is for XML, which is also common in XLSX, DOCX, PPTX. Similarly here, you can save this file locally also. So this Power BI desktop file will have everything, whatever you do, all the three objectives. Let me show you one demo here, right? So if I want to do some analysis on my most common source, Excel, I will show you website also, and you have the Excel connector. I told you there are hundreds of connectors available in Power BI. So here, if you talk about these connectors are available here as well, so many places, but main area is get data, and these are some frequently used connectors. But if you want to see the entire list, I need to go to more. Let me just show you. Every month this is growing, right? So here you can see hundreds of data connectors. All these data connectors are available here. That means you can get data from any of these, source. If you want to see this category wise, you can see category wise Azure databases. So you can get it from SQL Server, Oracle, DB2, MySQL, just name it. Normal flat file like Excel, PDF, CSV file, TXT file, all this stuff, online services. So SharePoint. So all these data sources are available there. In my first demo, let me take from Excel, and then I will show you one more demo on website. And gradually, you will get idea here. Since this is a webinar to give you exposure, the detailed study you have to do your own, right? So here, I pull the Excel file. Let me pick one of the Excel file here. So when you pull Excel file or you pull data from any connectors, this is a common window navigator. Even you are taking from website, you taking from SQL Server, this navigator will come definitely, and it shows your data sets. So what kind of data set is this? Actually, since I'm using Excel, so these are worksheets or tables. In Excel, you may have some tables inside same worksheets. So all those tables will come here, and all those worksheets will come, and some, system defined things like XML printer and all. But right now, this is the complete list of worksheets and as well as the tables which are available in your Excel file. Now, if I want to load the data from multiple worksheets or multiple tables, you can select all of them, and each selection will create different data sets here. Okay, let's say, for example, if I click on sales, immediately it shows the preview. What is inside that sales worksheet? So this is the preview you are getting here. You will get idea that how many columns are there and what kind of data you have. And if you want to load this, you have to select this. Similarly, you can select multiple data sets. All will come, right? So right now, I just want to load sales, and you have the load button. If I simply click on load, it will get inside my PBIX file, current PBIX file. If you don't want to load right now, you want to do some cleaning job, you can click on transform data. But in case you have loaded the data and then in future you realize that I forgot to clean the data, right? Then no problem. Even you have missed this train, no problem. You can always go back to transformation window, that is ETL tool, by clicking on this transform data here in home tab, right? So any number of times you can jump to ETL tool. I will talk about that ETL tool quickly. So here I just want to load the data. Let's say load this data without doing any cleaning. So you can see here a yellow bar is there, right? It will get automatically dissolved once the data is loaded. So still it's a huge data sample, and see that yellow bar is disappeared, right? So if you see here on the right hand side, you get this sales data and it shows all the columns of that table, right? And here, these are the three important buttons on the left hand side. This is your report canvas. By default, you come into the report view, right? This is your report view where you create some visuals. And if you want to see the raw data, you have to go to data view. This is called data view. The middle button is called data view. So if you want to see the raw data, click on the data view, and you see here data will come. So this is what you have loaded from Excel, and internally it will maintain the link. In case if your data is changed, you just need to refresh this from here. Refresh button is there. So just click on refresh. All the new things which are added in Excel file in that worksheet, here also it will get updated. So it is linked to the main source file anyway. And this is called model view. This is called model view, where you create relationship, right? So if you have too many data sets, too many tables, and you want to link them, you want to create them, you want to join them, that is called data modeling, right? So in a regular course, you learn all this. And here, if I go back here, now here in the report view, let me show you how quickly you can create your report, right? It is so user friendly, and that is the reason, based on all the users feedback, this has become #1 product in the market. And not only that, it can handle millions and millions of record, which is not possible to Tableau and all. Tableau has some issues. I have delivered a lot of trainings for those companies who are migrating from Tableau. They are simply running away, and they are migrating to Power BI. Okay, they are fed up with Tableau and all. That Tableau is also a good product. They are also trying to improve, but it is far ahead now in the competition. Okay, now here you see how easily you can do. So let's say you have some fixed number of visuals, but this is not limited to this visual. That is the beauty. That is the power. You have hundreds of visuals available on the cloud. Just click on the three dots, get more visuals. And if you have email ID sign up, it requires signing up, right? So you can go here, and then you can simply take some hundreds of fantastic visuals here, hundreds of fantastic visual, and most of the visuals, interestingly, free. Some visuals are paid one, but most of the visuals are free. You just take any visual which you need according to your requirement, and you will get this, right? So let's say, for example, if I want to here loading data and add this, and see, I have added this. Now if I want to use this is actually called custom visual, right? So when I take this, just click on this, it will come onto the canvas. And just let me show you one idea. So let me take territory here, just drag it here, and any value, let's say order quantity. So see, this visual gives you the biggest font for those territory which has the maximum quantity, right? So that is cool, right? Similarly, if I want to take some native visual, I can just click on this. In case if you have not clicked outside, and if you are clicking here itself, then it will change into that visual. See, if I click on this, it will change into this visual, right? So this is very frequently done mistakes by the users. Okay, you can place anywhere. There is an indicator, you can align accordingly, see, and you can do this. So if I want to make this again back to this one, see, simply I can click on this. Now if I want this bar chart, and if I want to have this based on, let's say, category, so I can put category in the x-axis and some number figure on y-axis. So let's say total, line total, that is revenue. So if I put here in y-axis, this is what I get. And oh, I'm sorry. So this is your, okay, this is your bar chart, right? So this is bar chart is just opposite. So in bar chart, you have this here. In x-axis, actually, you have the value, right? This is bar chart. If I would have taken the column chart, then I put y-axis the value. Okay. So this is how you see this. In case if you want to take this column chart, you see, in x-axis means the horizontal one. Let me put here color wise if I want to show. and if I take total due here in y-axis. So this is what I'm getting here, right? Not only this, so easily you can do all of this stuff, but also there is a power here which you can do for any visual. Let's say, for example, I have this visual, and if I put this right now, it is category wise, and if I put this here by, let's say, month wise, so I expand this date. Here you have automatically month. I will put in small multiples. So for each month, it will create those visuals automatically. See, for each month, I'm getting these visuals in the same card, right? So easily you can create number of visuals with so many effects easily, and you can transform. If you need more pages, you can just click on plus sign here, and you can do this. That is one part. The second thing is, if you want to talk about ETL tool, this is your ETL tool. I can do some cleaning job here. So if I go to ETL tool, it is also very user friendly here. So if you want to clean the data, for example, in this data set also, I need some cleaning. Like for example, here I have a column which is not required. This column does not require, you know, because I can see the health of this column by going into the view. If I go to view, and if I say column quality, what it says 99% empty. This is absolutely not required. 99% is empty. You can see the column quality. Based on that, you can correct it, clean this, and then finally that will be the right kind of things to work with. So anyway, so I don't require this column. So what I can do, simply right click here and remove this column. So this is very powerful editing tool. You can do a lot of things so easily. For example, I want something from the date very quickly. So I have a date here, and I want a new column which can show me year, month, or what was the day on that particular thing. So I can simply go to add column in this query editor, and I say, give me year from this. Without doing anything, I can get year from this. Similarly, I select this. I want, let's say, month name. So name of the month. So I'm getting name of the month here. Similarly, if I want to know what was the day on that particular each date, so I can get day name from here so easily. So you see the day name, I'm getting Monday, Tuesday, whatever you have on that particular day. So a lot of things which you need, you can manage. Similarly, if I want to do this, but let me tell you, the calculation part, the DAX part, you can't do here. So that you can do in the PBX file main model. When you finish this editing, you can do DAX part there. This is different language. DAX is different language, data analysis expression, but this query language is called M language, M for monkey. So this is M language. Whatever you are doing, actually internally it is running a code. If you want to see that code, here you can see whatever you have done. You can see in advanced editor, this is the code which is called M language, and this is very careful Hello, can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
The
Yes, sir, I
screen
can hear
was
you, sir.
freeze. Okay, I don't know what happened. So let me. I hope you can't see screen right now. Okay, great.
So we can say now.
Yeah, yeah. So I was talking about this query rating, right? So uh, at what position this screen was freeze? Can you give me update? So I was talking about how to extract all the things from ETL tool, from order date and all, right? So you can get all the elements of the order date. And similarly, if you want to do some calculations, you can do from order quantity. Let's say, but the main calculation you will do inside the DAX, which is inside the data model. But here, the basic calculation still you can do. Let's say, for example, if I go for add column, and if I want to do some calculation on order quantity and unit price, I will select this with the control button. And here, what I'll do, I'll just do this, basic standard multiplication. So I multiply both of this, and you see I'm getting this automatically. And if I want to rename this as a cost column, and so easily I got this. So all kind of transformation you will do here using so many things are there, and then finally you close and apply to get back to your data model. So here you see I'm just loading back to this, and then you will get this. So when you see this, I'm getting here what I have done. So I created this cost column. I'm getting this here. That is one way of editing. But if you want to do some complicated calculations and you need more columns and aggregations, then here you can use DAX formula. For example, if I want to get some thing to do here, like for example, if I want a remark column where it is based on the quantity, if the quantity is greater than what is the maximum here. So let's say you have this value. If the quantity is greater than 1000, sorry, 500, so I want this remark costly, good. Or in case of unit price, you can do this if the unit price is greater than something like more than 1000, 10,000. So that also you can do here. अरे बात ये है कि उसको समझाया तो नहीं उठाओ करना तो फिर उठाओ ना अभी तो दी वो दे के भाग गई कुछ नहीं कर पाई so here you can create a new column, go to home, and then new column. Okay, so here remarks. If this is all DAX formula, right? So if I talk about here, let's say uh, this unit price. So you see, when you type this, automatically it will come along with the table name. So unit price, unit price greater than, let's say, 1000, Then I want to give some remarks. Yeah, I'm just giving you an example, right? So let's say A grade. If it is not B grade, right? I'm just giving you an example. So this is how you write the DAX, and you see, I get a column here, and you get this result, right? So based on this, A and B you are getting here, if something like this. Similarly, if you want to do aggregation, you create measure. That is called measure here. For example, I want total quantity. So you don't need to do this in column, because if you do it in column, every row will give you the same result, and that will spoil. It will increase the size, and that will remove. That will reduce the performance. So if you want to do this aggregation here, you can go for new measure. Okay, so you just create a measure, and I want total quantity. So if I go for total quantity, the sum order quantity, and you see I got this measure. Now how do I use measure? Measure will never come into the data set. You can use inside only the visuals. And let's say I take this here one card, and if I take this card here and then I put this measure here, total quantity, you see I'm getting this total quantity. By the way, even in visual directly you can get all these results. So some of the normal calculation you don't need to do. For example, without doing this measure also you could have got this, so if I take this card and I simply take normal quantity here, order quantity, that will give me the same result. See why this is coming here? Because this is coming because this also has implicit measure like sum, average, and all this stuff, right? So that is what it is doing here. But in some complicated calculation like I did for there, you need some measures, and also you need to learn about all these measures, calculated column, and all this stuff. And this is how you can go forward. Now I'll put the time for query, right? So you can go ahead with the queries. So if you have any query, you can ask, because any query, you I give you time for asking any query if you have. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Do you have any question? You can put on chat, or you can just ask.
You can check the chat window, sir.
Yeah,
They're
I'm just
posting
checking
question.
here. So this is the introduction of Power BI, where I talked about. Let me summarize this. You need Power BI desktop, which is easily available, and with those software you can create your reports. You can do all the three objectives. You can fulfill. You can transform. The ETL tool is called Power Query Editor. You can transform. Then you can load the data. Then you can do analysis, where you can create relationship. You can create DAX formulas and all, and then you can create visualizations in the report section. There are hundreds of visuals which can be used easily, and finally you are ready with the things, and you can publish this in your account in powerbi.com. This is the whole cycle. And what are the things you need? Okay, so there is one question: how to publish the report? So to publish the report, there is a publish button. You need to have account with powerbi.com, and simply, like for example, if I show you quickly, so this is how you can publish this report. So you see there is a button here. So there is a publish button, and just you need to create on publish button. I hope you can see my screen. I'll just answer your question here. So let's say this is the report which you have created, and you want to publish this in your account. So there is a publish button, right? You have here page 1, you have something on page 2, and if you want to publish this, just click on the publish button. It will ask you to save locally first. You have to save this PBX file locally, and then it will log in into your account, because I am already logged in here in Power BI account. So it is not asking me to give my email ID and password. This is already there. So it will show my all workspaces. Since I'm having license subscription, so I can create more workspace. But if you are a free user, you have only my workspace. So in any workspace, you can put this, and then I can publish. It says already that is there. If I want to replace this, I can replace this. And now if you go to that powerbi.com, you see your report is inside your account, right? And you see this is the page 1, this is the page 2. And if you want to share this report to anybody, minimum you need pro license. So there is a share button here, and then you can give the email ID and all those, permissions and all. And you can also share along your team to the teams, right? Just give mail ID and you can share this. You can also export this as PowerPoint format in Excel, also as a pivot table kind of thing, aggregation PDF format. You can also make this as a general website. So if I make this as a general website, you see it has created this link for me, right? So if I go for this website or portal, this has created the link. I can copy this, and if I use this here, or anybody, if I give this link to anybody, they can just click on this link. They don't require any login credential also. They will simply click on this link and they can interact. Okay, if I pass this URL to you guys also, you can check this. So let me just put on the chat. If you want to try this, you can try this, right? So here, if I put this link here, now if you click on that link which I have given in the chat, you can even interact with that report which I have sent to you, right? Can you see that? Just confirm me on the chat. If you click on that, are you able to interact with my report? So there are number of things, and you can do all this. Any more question? Okay, great. Any question? I'm open for that. Yes, you can ask any question. And remember, this link will be available till the time I want this to be there with you. If I remove this from my end, it will not be available. So that is also possible. I can remove that link, and when you click on that, it will show the content is not available. Right, great. Anything which you want to ask out of this demo? So you got the point here that there are 3 objectives of any BI tool. One is the ETL, the second is how to analyze the data, and the third is how to visualize the data, right? And to do this, all these tools are integrated in under one software that is called Power BI Desktop. And ETL tool in Power BI is called Power Query Editor. In other products, there are many ETL tools in the market. For a SQL Server, you have SSIS. Informatica, you have Cognos. Those are also ETL tool, right? So there are different ETL tools in the market. But here, each and everything you get in one platform, that is Power BI Desktop. Even if you talk about SQL Server, all the things are different things. Like for example, if you want to create a report, you have to use SSRS application. If you want to do ETL, you have to use SSIS application. If you want to do analysis, you have to use SSAS application. But here the good thing is all are integrated in Power BI Desktop, and whatever you want to do, you can create complete solution and you can create a report, right? Any question? Okay, so I'm just waiting for your more questions. Any explanation you need? No question anymore. So we can we conclude the session, or you want to continue something more? You want? No, tell me.